Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 13 of the NordCast. I am your host, Nordic97, here, joined with Carter.
How's it going, everyone?
And Jack.
Hello.
And we have a special guest for the first time in 2023. When we made our Instagram post talking about our 2022 guests, he commented LeBlock James 2023, and that's who we have on the pod today. TikToker with 10.3K followers. LeBlock James, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And forgot to mention the date. It's Thursday, January 12th, and we are excited to talk about some hockey today. So first off, we're going to talk about the team that, of course, James is a fan of, the Ottawa Senators, like we did with Max. So the Senators, apart from the Bruins, have had kind of a – honestly, I mean, like when you look at their record, they've kind of had like a middle-of-the-road year. They are 18, 19, and 3 for 39 points. I might be wrong on that, because these stats are outdated, but I'm pretty sure they're around that record. Obviously, this team acquired a lot of big free agent acquisitions in Alex DeBrincat, Claude Giroux, Cam Talbot, just to name a couple of them. So, James, what are your overall thoughts this season as an Ottawa Senators fan? I know there's been some highs, there's been some lows. It's kind of been everywhere. So, kind of just take it from the top.
We have a group chat for the Sens, and every we win, it's like we're making playoffs. Every time we lose, it's like Bedard. So it's like the start was great. Like we started I think it was like 5-1 or 5-2.
Yeah, it was around there.
And then we had that horrible November, because November is just never kind to Sens fans, where we went like I think it was like 2-9 or something, 2-9 or 2-11 or something like that. But compared to last year, this is a lot better year. But obviously, with the new acquisitions coming in, it takes time to get acclimated. And you can see that with DeBrincat, with Giroux especially. DeBrincat, when he first couple games here, he only scored his first goal. I think it was like game number 7 or 8, and he's turned more into like a playmaker, because you see he's known for his goal scoring, but now he's a playmaker. So. And to get acclimated with your new teammates, your new line mates, a new city, I get it, but it maybe should have been done faster. I never expected us to come fresh out the gate, because we're not a team that starts fast. We always start slow, and then we pick it up mid-season or late season. So,
yeah, you look at the past couple of years, you always start off the season fairly bad. Like the first couple of months are not good, and that was kind of the issue with this team the past couple of years. You would get into this big hole early, and it would be kind of hard to get out of it. But towards the end of the year, they would always play pretty well. And I mean, so far we've seen that from this past December. Obviously, though, in November and December as well, there were a lot of rumors of DJ Smith and him potentially getting fired. So, do you think that he should have been fired, or is it fine now, or should he still be fired, or?
At the beginning of the year, I said we'll give him a chance, and if he falters in November, which he did, we should fire him. So I am very on the fire DJ Smith train. Against Nashville, they had an interview with Nashville's associate coach, and they said, Ottawa, they don't really have structure. They have no system. They're good at making scrappy just random plays. Which, when other teams say you have no system, that's kind of a bad sign as a head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Carter, what do you think about that? I know we've obviously spoken our opinion over the DJ Smith rumors before, but let's realign it.
No, yeah, we definitely have, and it's getting to that point, because one thing I've looked at, they're only getting scoring from their top 5 guys. Right after Claude Giroux, who has 36 points through 40 games, it's a big drop. You got Thomas Chabot with 22, and then it just starts getting worse and worse and worse. When you're not getting scoring from your third line, your fourth line, it doesn't even have to be a lot. But if you're not getting pretty much anything from those lines, it's time to look at, maybe we need to go out and get a guy, or maybe we need a coach that can utilize our lines better. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of become a system of that for Ottawa, and I think it's definitely time for them to start branching out and maybe trying to look for a new coach.
Yeah, I agree. Jack?
Yeah, I just want to touch base on the DeBrincat thing, how he's become more of a playmaker. And I mean, that's not really who he is. He'll still put up assists, but I don't know if the coaching staff is wanting to change up his game, but I say just let the guys flow out there and play to their strengths pretty much. But yeah, I do think it's time for a coaching change as well.
Yeah, I agree. Now, moving on to, Thomas Shabbat. Shabbat, obviously, he gets 28, 29 minutes a night sometimes. It's resulted in him getting hurt a lot. So, James, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think that a lot of the weight on that blue line should be taken off of Shabbat, or should they try and go out and get somebody to help out with that? Obviously, Jake Sanderson's come into the lineup and has definitely played pretty well on that blue line, but what are your thoughts overall?
Sanderson, when Sanderson's come in, he's taking the weight off. If we didn't have Sanderson, I still think Shabbat would be playing 30, 35 minutes a night. But everyone's like, only in the sense he Shabbat's it's a big debate whether because he'll look great for a stretch, then he'll look not so great. And we're like, he's not good. No, he's just tired because he's playing 35 minutes a night. Take the edge off of a Shabbat, you have him play maybe even 25, 20 minutes a night. You're going to get a fresher player. You're going to get a fresher Shabbat, and he's going to play better to his advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 5 minutes or even just less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes, they can make a huge difference on someone like Shabbat. And it would definitely help him with his career lasting a lot longer. Because when you look at somebody like PK Subban, for example, he was getting a lot of ice time when he was on certain teams. He was playing a lot of minutes, and it definitely kind of, delayed his career and made it a little bit shorter than it probably should have been, which was definitely a big factor. So definitely giving Shabbat any less time and Sanderson helping is a good thing. Now, moving on to the goaltending, obviously Cam Talbot has come in as, I guess, the starter for the Ottawa Senators. He was hurt there for a little bit at the start, but Anton Forsberg as well has been playing good too. So what are your thoughts on the goaltending, James?
Funny. I know my work, we are also all Sens fans. We have a huge debate. Some of us are on Talbot to be the starter, some of us are on Forsberg. So it's a big debate, but it's weird because Talbot will have one game where he'll look like he's a Vezina candidate. And then the next game, he'll look like he shouldn't even be in the league anymore. Because it's weird. I say every third game, Talbot has a bad game. There's no and Forsberg's the same way. He'll look great one game, then he'll look bad next game. And Ottawa's problem this has been a problem for maybe since Craig Anderson left. There's been no consistency between the pipes, and that's one thing that it's better than last year for sure, but it needs to be addressed either via goaltending coaching or because I think they've both done great for what they've brought to the table, but it'd be nice to get some stability in the net.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Obviously being in a rebuild, there's been a few goalies that have come in and out of the Ottawa Senators tandem in the past couple of years. Matt Murray being one of the goalies is a prime example there. Now, if there was one move, now you're probably going to say some kind of defenseman, but if there was one move that you could make, and I'll ask everybody in this pod the question, if there was one move you can make if you were Pierre Dorion, what would it be?
Want me to start that?
Anybody can go. Sorry, I didn't specify.
Probably Matt Dumba.
Matt Dumba, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, Matt Dumba with an extension.
Yeah, that makes sense. Carter.
Okay. I don't have a specific player in mind, but they got to get a defenseman because especially as we've talked about earlier, like just a couple of minutes ago, Thomas Chabot playing 30 minutes a night. You can't have a good, successful team with having a defenseman play that much on a night to night basis. You gotta get him some help, and if you can find someone there who can step up on the blue line and help take more of that burden off of Thomas Chabot, that's definitely what they need.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Defenseman is the way to go. They have the forward core to really put up some good offense. They have DeBrincat, Giroux, obviously. There's no really going in depth with that. They just need a defenseman. So, Jack?
Yeah, I was going to say Chikrin. I don't know if he's been linked to them or anything. I don't know if Arizona's even willing to trade him at this point. But if they do get a little desperate and moving him, I think Ottawa should take a look at that.
Chikrin. Sorry, you go.
Ottawa's been linked to Chikrin for the past like 2 seasons.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
They just got to find a way to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
the
seriously.
price is so crazy for him though, and that's like why teams are so.
I'm thinking it's gonna drop here.
Yeah,
They want to move him.
They're going to have to get desperate.
Yeah. It has dropped, but like it's still really high.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I would imagine he does get traded pretty soon though, and I think he could be a big acquisition for a certain team. Anyways, any last thoughts on the Ottawa Senators? Should Ryan Reynolds buy the franchise? Like
That was going to be my last question.
James, what are your thoughts on that?
Bring Deadpool home. Like I don't really know what else to say.
Yes.
Well, I was at the game where he was at the game, and that building, other than anything other than a goal, that's been the loudest I've ever heard the building.
What?
Wow.
Other than a goal.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe that could happen actually. And then they are getting a new arena too, right? Or is that?
Yes. So what it is we Sens won the plot of land at LeBreton Flats, which is basically just like it's like 5 minutes away downtown walking, so it's like a 2-minute drive outside of downtown. It's a plot of land on the water, like right near downtown, and they've won the rights to bid on the land for their building, and they have until the end of next January to finalize a deal with the city.
Oh, so it's still going to take a while.
It's going to happen, but the building's not going to be up for at least another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like same with the Coyotes. That's the same situation there, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if that's it for the Ottawa Senators, we can move on to another team who is actually undefeated in 2023. Not the whole season, but calendar year 2023. And that is the Seattle Kraken. In their second season in the NHL, this team has a 24-12-7 for 52 points. Did you guys expect them to be this good in their second season?
Not at all.
No, I don't think anyone saw this coming. Even if you are in NHL Super Genius, this roster is like close to the same.
Yeah. It really is. Apart from, Beniers coming into the lineup full time, Wright coming into the lineup for a little bit, really there isn't any changes apart from, actually, was Burakovsky on the team before?
No, he was with
don't
the
think so.
right?
He was still with the Avs.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Besides him,
Yeah, this is a pretty much the same roster, more or less, and Martin Jones as well. So I'm going to ask this question. Do you guys think that the Kraken, they're in the playoff race? They likely will make the playoffs unless they have a huge fallout. But do you guys think that when they make the playoffs, are they going to do anything, or is this team just a first-round exit?
Probably looking at first exit.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic. I mean,
I disagree.
Really? Why?
I think if they make one of the Pacific spots, they can really do some damage. Because that division is like it's weak. If you get like the Oilers, and I know it's saying it's the Oilers that make Dave, they're still susceptible to a loss.
Yeah. Well, 100%, looking at the division race, they have 4 games in hand on LA, who they're only 2 points behind, and they have a game in hand in Vegas, which is the 1 seed, and they're a game behind, and they're 2 points behind as well. So they are very much in the race for first in the Pacific. Honestly, if they draw first in the Pacific, even second in the Pacific, we're looking at a team that can really do some damage.
Yeah, I just think that if they especially if they're second seed and they're playing what? Would they play the LA Kings or the Oilers?
They play LA. Calgary technically could maybe make something, but not really.
If they're first seed though, could they play they could play the Oilers? Because the Oilers really aren't that high are they?
They're the number 2 wild card right now, and Calgary is the number 1 wild card.
Yeah, I'm stupid. But yeah, I think it really depends on who they're playing, honestly. But I mean, realistically, past that first round, I don't really see this team going all too far because they have good offense, but I just think that they need to figure out some things before that, get some more additional depth, 100%. But yeah, one of the players who has played really well for this team is Matty Beniers. 16 goals, 18 assists for 34 points. Obviously one of the best rookies in this draft class this season. But as well as that, Shane Wright obviously is playing his first season. He's obviously over in Windsor now, right? Because of the
Windsor, yeah.
the crazy CHL trade or whatever.
That was a crazy day for Canadian hockey.
It was.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, like the past couple of years, it's been a trend where first round picks don't pan out the way they're supposed to be. So obviously, I mean, Wright, over in Windsor now, we'll see if he can improve on that. And obviously, the pressure of going fourth and all this with the Kraken definitely has taken a toll on him, but I think he can definitely pull it off. So yeah, just crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, any thoughts on the Kraken? I just blanked.
I don't know.
I would like Seattle's definitely going to be buyers at the deadline. It's going to be interesting to see whether they actually do want to go for it, because Seattle has assets to trade away. They have multiple seconds. They have multiple thirds. They can really get some depth guys in there, like fix up the defense, maybe get some bottom six guys, and maybe bring in another goaltender. I know Martin Jones has been really good, but you can bring another goaltender for depth as well. So it's interesting to see what they do at the deadline, whether they, are aggressive or they're going to be conservative about it.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Jones has been all right, though. 19, 5-3 with a 2.78 goals against average and a .894 save percentage. He doesn't have mind-boggling stats, but the Kraken have been playing good enough that I think it's okay. But however, I think I would look at maybe a upgrade on that blue line potentially. I'm not sure if like Chikrin level blue line upgrade, but definitely like some kind of defender, because like when you look at that blue line, it's like Vince Dunn, Jamie Alexiak. I'm probably blanking on somebody else.
Adam Larson
as well. So maybe you go out there, get some kind of not like a huge defensive target out there on the market, but some like a secondary one, someone who
you could definitely get a top 4 D man for sure.
Yeah. They probably could use one of those 100%. But yeah, overall,
for my guy Jake McCabe.
Maybe. Yeah, McCabe actually could happen, realistically. I've seen McCabe's been in rumors with like the Oilers too. And the Senators, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be traded to a Canadian team. That's what I heard.
Yeah, so
what's wrong with us?
I don't know. I heard he got a no trade list and every single Canadian team's on it, so
well, I mean, I guess it happens. A lot of people don't like going to Canada because of like taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, any final thoughts on the Seattle Kraken?
I do want to say the Seattle Kraken, when I've seen them play, and I've seen them play a couple times this year, and again, game on they give up a lot of goals, but they score a lot too. And I was actually very surprised how physical this team is. They can get like a more smaller skilled guy like on the blue line. I think they could be dangerous. I'm not going to say like they're like a cup favorite, but they're like they're definitely are a second round team in my opinion, if they can just solidify that.
Yeah, I agree. And definitely like they do have the physicality. I was looking at that too. They have a lot of physical players on that roster. The hits are like through the roof. Like, and sometimes, scoring more than you let in. Actually, that sounds stupid. Letting in a lot of goals, but scoring a lot of goals sometimes is the way to go. This is a big comparison, but I mean, like, you look at the past couple of years, more specifically this past year with Colorado, Darcy Kemper was an okay goalie, but he wasn't Andre Vasilevsky level goalie. And he was still a solid tendy, but he wasn't like that level. And Avalanche still won a cup. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, do you really need a really good goalie to win in the playoffs or go far in the playoffs? And maybe you just need really good offense or really good defense in that area. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any more thoughts, Kraken?
Yeah. One thing, looking at their stats, it's kind of weird. They shoot the puck 25th least in the league. So they're pretty much in the bottom of shooting, but they're top 3 in goals scored. And then they give up the 4th least amount of shots in the NHL, but they give up they're like middle of the road for most goals given up. So they haven't really found that medium of like letting in less, like they're keeping it low, but they just need a little bit more help from the goaltender, I think. Even though he's played unreal, but they're just shooting the puck and they're finding the right spot every single time.
Yeah, they must just have really good aim, I guess. I mean, like,
yeah,
they're
a lot
like
of accuracy training.
Far. Yeah.
I also saw that like you said, they don't shoot a lot, but they're top 7, I think it is. I saw in high danger scoring.
Yeah.
So which is ridiculous because if they don't shoot a lot, but when they do shoot, it's probably
going in.
Yeah. I guess you can count on them to score good goals. But yeah, if that's it for the Seattle Kraken, we will roll right into headlines.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, everybody. So moving on to headlines now, we are going to go over the World Juniors because they've obviously come to a close. The gold medal winners are Canada. For our video listeners, you can see Carter wearing his Canada jersey and the two Canadians in the quad being very, very happy. However, in silver, it was Czechia. So definitely a team that kind of rose above some other teams that people didn't think would, lose to Czechia. And then bronze went to the USA. First off, I'm going to talk about my experience with the Czechs because I need to go into this. I need to talk about this because I haven't had an opportunity to actually talk about it anywhere like publicly. So for those who don't know, my very first TikTok of 2023 was my World Junior predictions. Okay. And I had Canada winning gold. I had Sweden winning silver and I had USA winning bronze. So, and I actually had Czechia losing to Switzerland as an upset. I wasn't trying to diss Czechia in any way. I just wanted to see an upset. I didn't want like the entire country to be in my comment section. It was like when they upset Switzerland 9-1, my comment section got invaded. Like it was insane. Like 3,000 comments of Czech fans commenting all this stuff. What happened? 9-1, this and that, calling me Canadian when I'm not Canadian. I think I was actually no, I was wearing Canucks. I should have worn a USA jersey because then they would have known that I was American. But anyways, then like the Czech team commented on the video making fun of me, and then like all of a sudden I received like death threats on Instagram from Czechs telling me to kill myself in a different language, and then my mom got death threats from Czechs in a different language. Why? It was an upset. It wasn't even like I said their country was bad in any shape or form. A-holes, like honestly, like I wanted to go in depth with that. But yeah, Canada, obviously, great gold medal. I mean, Czechia, I gotta give credit to them. I didn't think they'd beat Sweden, but they did. So definitely a very fun World Juniors to watch this past season. Obviously, and of course, Canada won. So yeah, any thoughts on World Juniors, guys? Anything? No? Okay.
Connor Bedard, that's it.
Yeah, Connor Bedard.
This proved how scary a couple teams are going to be if they end up getting Bedard.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona is one of them I'm looking at. Wow, if they get Bedard, with how well Gunther played, especially the two guys on the Anaheim Ducks, too. What's his name?
Zegras.
I think Zellweger.
Zellweger.
Yeah, Zellweger.
Nasty. And the fact that they have a chance of getting him. There's so many guys that played in this tournament that are on teams that just played so well on teams that are bad. And it's like, you throw Bedard into the mix there, this is going to be a scary team. Yeah. And of course, Connor Bedard's just a madman.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, moving on here. The Kraken, it was announced because we actually haven't made a podcast since January 1st, actually. Well, it was posted on the 3rd, but January 1st. The Seattle Kraken are going to host the 2024 NHL Winter Classic in Seattle against the Vegas Golden Knights. This is cool for the game. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm actually kind of wondering like what the jersey concepts are going to be. Like, is Seattle going to go for that Metropolitans type jersey? Maybe. And then Vegas could honestly go anyway. I really don't know what Vegas would do. But Yeah, definitely going to be a really exciting Winter Classic. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question because we have some time. What is like one Winter Classic that you guys would want to see? I know, like, when was the last time a Canadian team was in a Winter Classic? I don't think it actually happens.
Toronto.
Toronto
played. No, they played in Ann Arbor.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Wings. That's the only time the Canadian team has ever even been in a Winter Classic.
Canada always has its own. We have like a Heritage Classic.
Yeah, the Heritage.
Yeah,
yeah,
those are fun. I went.
Who usually plays in that?
Sick.
The
Leafs? It's always Canadian teams. No, because there was one year it was.
It's actually usually like Calgary. It's usually one of the Alberta
It's usually
teams.
an Alberta team. Yeah.
I think this year I don't have it in my notes, but I think this year it's Calgary versus Edmonton.
No, I think it's Winnipeg.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Unless I'm wrong.
I don't think so because I'm pretty sure Winnipeg played in the last one against Calgary.
No, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, you're right. So then I know it's Calgary against somebody.
It's definitely Calgary. I'm pretty sure it's the Oilers
because you play like you like rotate almost. So like you play 1 year and then you play another year, and it's like 2 on strange. And then a bunch off.
Anyways, moving on here. Of course, also, the 2023 Winter Classic was actually the most watched regular season game of all time on, I think, American TV networks, which is pretty huge.
Wow, I didn't know.
Obviously, 100%. Some injury news: Backstrom and Wilson are back. Definitely good for the Capitals, even though they've kind of stayed afloat. Even though they've missed those two guys. And then, of course, as well, O'Reilly is out 6 weeks with a foot injury, and then Tarasenko is out 4 weeks with a hand injury. You got to wonder whether or not O'Reilly's injury affects his trade value. Maybe if, the Blues are thinking about trading O'Reilly, maybe that could play a role, but obviously. Ryan Merkley has requested a trade from the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know why I said Winnipeg. San Jose Sharks. It's because I'm trying to pull up something else for another piece of news here. But Ryan Merkley has requested a trade from the San Jose Sharks. Obviously, Merkley's kind of bounced around a little bit from multiple teams, so obviously hasn't really found his fit, and he's going to ask for a trade once again. Now, hold on a second here. I need to find this one post. It is about John Carlson. So something happened with John Carlson a couple weeks ago. It was in late December, I think, where he was.
23rd.
Wait, what?
23rd of December. Yeah.
23rd. Yeah. So basically, Carlson had to get his ear reattached. Yeah, reattached. You heard that right. That just sounds really, really weird to say, but he had to basically, I guess, his ear kind of like got cut a little bit, and he had to get it reattached. I don't think it fell off entirely, but he had to get it reattached. Really strange. And then also he was like baking Christmas cookies the very next day, which was interesting. So that goes to show, the toughness in hockey players, I guess. And then, of course, I want to bring this up as well. Ducks forward Justin Kirkland was actually involved in a car crash a few days ago on his way to a Ducks game. He was transported to a hospital in Anaheim where I think he has been released. If I'm correct, I'm not sure yet, but he is okay, but definitely a pretty scary situation. So thankfully, I'm glad he's okay. But yeah, that's all I have for headlines. If anybody has anything else,
have we talked about Blake Wheeler, like his injury?
Oh, I haven't. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Or Carter, do you know what happened? I can't think.
Yeah, so in a game, I don't remember which game. I think it might have been against Vancouver, but I'm not 100% certain on that. He took a shot right to the nuts, and one of his testicles exploded.
Oh.
Mid-game, and he played through the entire game with one testicle. So, yeah. Adrenaline is a crazy thing. Hockey players are a different breed, man. And then he came back like 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I was like, what?
Honestly, I don't know how you can manage to even finish a game like with he must have been hurt in that game. But he's back and he looks good. So yeah.
Yeah, that is just insane, honestly. I mean, like, hockey players really are a different breed.
It takes me 7 minutes to get up after I've been hit in the nads. So like to play through a whole game with exploded, you must got man, that's some big dog shit right there.
Yeah, crazy energy. And then also one more thing relating to Vancouver. This was announced today. Canucks have made Oliver Ekman-Larsson a healthy scratch against the Tampa Bay Lightning on January 12th. Obviously, he only has 19 points through 40 games played, and he is signed to an $8.25 million deal until 2027. So definitely not a good contract for the Canucks, and definitely going to bite him in the butt for the next 4 years. Anyways, moving on now to a new thing that we're doing this podcast. We're going to talk about trending players, and this basically means like players that have been pretty good over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, anything like that. So starting off here, I try and keep it for like one player per team, but as an exception, I do have 2 players from one team here. Philadelphia Flyers goaltender Samuel Ersson is the first person we're going to talk about. He has a 5-0 record. 5-0 record. He's been playing pretty good so far in his stint. He has a 2.30 goals against average and a .924 save percentage, and additionally 1 shutout as well. So obviously the Flyers have been playing pretty good these past couple of weeks. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, depending on how you feel about that.
It's not good.
Yes.
I mean, we see Bedard, a generational talent, and we're just like, man, we don't want him anymore. We'll just get out of the race.
Yep. That's
like,
of course. Yeah.
It's the Flyers' way.
And then obviously, like, I mean, whenever a new goalie comes into the NHL, you obviously it becomes pretty difficult to like figure out what their style is and like how to stop, how to like score on them, obviously. So of course he's been pretty good these past couple of games. We'll see if he keeps it going. Moving on now. Seattle Kraken forward Eli Tolvanen as well. I forgot to mention Tolvanen in the Kraken. I think that was what I blanked on. I was going to say something about Tolvanen because he was a waiver pickup and he's become pretty good for the Kraken. He has 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points through 6 games played with the Kraken. Definitely pretty good. He was one of those, I don't want to say like really hyped up rookies, but he was supposed to be something pretty good with Nashville. He had 1 solid season back in like the weird division year in 2021. But apart from that, he really never panned out the way the Predators wanted him to be. So obviously they waived him. The Kraken claimed him. Other teams passed on him, and he's turned out pretty good so far for them. Next up, New Jersey Devils forward Jack Hughes has also been a pretty good these past couple of weeks. He has 7 goals in his last 6 games. And I remember seeing a stat where he had like 21 goals in his last like 22 games. So he's also been pretty good scoring-wise. When we get into the what was that?
Damn.
Yeah. when we get into the later topic that we're going to talk about, Jack Hughes will be mentioned. Next up, Ottawa Senators forward Tim Stützle, who has 8 points in his last 5 games played. We didn't. Yep. There's his jersey.
There's his shrine.
We didn't talk about Stützle in the Senators segment earlier. That's all too much. But Stützle's been pretty good these past couple of games and has been pretty good this year. He's still on that previous contract before the 8-year one, right?
Yeah, so he's on his last year of his ELC.
Yeah, so he's been playing pretty good, right? As a Senators fan, you could say that.
I could say I'm kind of glad we lost the lottery.
Fair enough.
But if he's point per game, the games he's played, and he's looked fantastic. And I know tonight they switched it up. He's playing up to DeBrincat finally, so maybe that will spark something, and maybe he's on pace for like I think 80. He's on pace for 82 points. So.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Even though I hate on pace, that's definitely.
I know. I hate saying it too, but it's just like he's there.
Yeah, he could. But yeah. Moving on. Nashville Predators goaltender Jose Saros. Now, I didn't forget about his insane game against the Hurricanes. I thought I'd mention him in trending players. He has had 102 saves in the past 2 games, including a shutout to the Ottawa against the Ottawa Senators. Sorry,
that game.
Sorry, James.
But yeah, 64 of those shots were against the Carolina Hurricanes, which I think was like 3rd in most saves in a game, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That's a crazy stat. And then the last player I want to talk about is Travis Konechny, who is on a 9-game point streak. I think it's
10 now. It's 10 now.
This is a little bit outdated. I think it's 12 goals, 8 assists for like 20 points in his past 10 games played. All-star. Vote him for All-Star. That's all I'm going to say. Vote him for All-Star.
Ottawa 67's legend.
Yeah, he is super good. He has been really good for the Flyers. Moving on now to the game of the week. I'm going to let Carter take this one away. For the week of January 15th to January 21st, what is the game that people should tune into?
Well, a game that I think could definitely be a shootout. I wouldn't call it a rivalry game, but with these two teams kind of being the top 2 teams in their country, I'd say I'm probably looking at a Winnipeg Jets Toronto Maple Leafs game. I think that game is on what day is it? I think that's the Thursday. So it's on January 19th. That's a game I'm looking at in Toronto. I think it's definitely going to be a great game. Both teams second in their division right now. They're both like really solid teams, and they got some star power everywhere. Dubois and Matthews don't seem to like each other. So I think we'll definitely see a nice, fun, physical game, high scoring, or either high scoring or low scoring. It's going to be a very entertaining game to watch. So I think that's the game I'm looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be a fun game. I'll see if I can tune into that, but varsity hockey is definitely taking up a lot of my time lately. Anyways, now that's all we got for headlines, trending players, game of the week. That's all we got. What, Carter?
Can I give a shout out to a trending player though?
Sure.
I have one. One player. No, you probably didn't forget one, but this is a guy that has absolutely turned it on lately. Mason McTavish.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my, he has looked unreal lately.
Yeah.
Really starting to find his groove with the Ducks. He's caught up. He's pretty close to being the points leader. Actually, I don't know if that's actually true, but he has looked absolutely unreal lately.
Yeah,
I thought I'd give him a little bit of love. So he's been good.
I did see the. Oops, sorry.
What did you say? Ottawa native, McTavish.
Of course, they're all from Ottawa. Legends. You know, anything we say, James has an Ottawa tie to it.
Yeah.
He'll find a way. His brother's dating someone from Ottawa.
Okay, anyways, moving on now. We're going to talk about a team that we have talked about before. Actually, we talked about them on episode 10 in our league-wide review. The Colorado Avalanche. I'm not going to say they missed the playoffs, but they're way far ahead from getting a high seed in this year's playoffs. They have a 20-16-3 record, so they definitely have some time to turn it around. Well, not turn it around, but pick up the pace and chase that first seed. But they have scored 116 goals and have led in 115. So I'm going to ask this question. Before I actually mention the injuries, do you blame injuries on a team being bad? Now, whether or not Carter's nodding his head. So whether or not, they have a ton of injuries or just the key players are out, do you blame injuries for a team being bad, or does it depend on the circumstance? Whoever can go first. I'll let James go first, actually, because he's our guest.
I think it depends circumstances. Like I always say, like if you're injured, next man up, you got to step up. But in the case of like certain players, you can't replace McKinnon. You can't replace what he brings. It depends. But Colorado has definitely had a lot of trouble with injuries, so I do blame it partially on injuries. They do, and I want to say they do have 4 games in hand on Edmonton right now. So, and it's definitely something to watch out for. But I think Colorado, injury wise, has really derailed their season. I still think they can make playoffs though.
Yeah, definitely. I just think that like you said, you can't replace a guy like McKinnon. You also can't replace your captain, Gabriel Landeskog, who's been out for the whole year. So that's definitely affected the team. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, like you said, you can't replace McKinnon. Now he's back, so I am expecting this team to do just play better pretty much now since they are getting more healthy. Losing to the Blackhawks right now, actually. So
Really?
yeah.
What's the score?
3-2, 3 minutes.
Oh God. Jesus.
Yeah.
Carter, what do you think about injuries and all that?
Yeah. Injuries, especially when you're missing some of your top players, it's really hard. Like looking at their injuries, even on the back end, they're missing 2 of their like pretty good defensemen. Bowen Byram, he's a really solid defenseman on that blue line. Josh Manson, who they got last year, I'm pretty sure at the trade deadline, who's a solid offensive defenseman and a good defensive defenseman as well. Valeri Nichushkin, who they gave a decent contract to, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, they gave a decent sized contract to him in the offseason. He's out too. Dennis Mulligan, I know he's not supposed to be good, but he's a solid 3rd, 4th line guy. And then again, they're pretty much their captain, their leader out long term. At that point, you kind of have to look at it and be like, they have some excuses for being bad, but they still have a lot of star power on this team. They'll definitely make the playoffs. And I think when they do and have everybody healthy, they're going to make one hell of a run.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it kind of reminds me of like Tampa with Kucherov being out, but not like the cheating cap scandals or whatever. But
hey, it was legal.
It was legal. Whatever.
It was legal cheating.
I think it was probably legal. But
I just want to say, wouldn't it be your worst fear to have a fully healthy Colorado as a low seed? Like if you're going to the playoff, let's say you're like a team like Dallas or Vegas, and you have to play Colorado first round when they get back to full strength.
Yeah, that's what I was
tough.
thinking about with like Seattle, like going back to Seattle, like saying that like they could go past the first round if they're playing Colorado.
No.
No, not a chance. And that's what I was kind of thinking, like Edmonton or Colorado, whatever. I couldn't think of the team, obviously, but yeah, like I mean, it does kind of give them the advantage, actually, 100%. But definitely, we don't know what's going to happen come playoff time. Now they have a new goalie as well. It's Alex Georgiev. He has a 16-11-3 record. He has a 2.75 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. So once again, you look at, like the mentality that like you don't need a really good goalie to win a championship. And that's kind of what Colorado did last year. And they're once again trying to prove that this year because Georgiev never proved himself with the Rangers. He's played games with the Rangers before, but he never panned out the way the Rangers wanted him to be in net. And in Colorado, he's definitely helped out with that as well. But, yeah, obviously, as you guys mentioned, Manson is out. Byram is out. Landeskog is out. McKinnon has missed a couple of games. Nichushkin has only played 15 games this season. And Rodriguez has missed a couple of games as well. So, obviously, they're missing a lot of players. It's better than it was before, but they're still missing a significant amount of players. It definitely limits what this team can do. And definitely around the 500 spot there, we'll see where they finish in the standings. But that Western Conference wild cards could be kind of competitive and more competitive than we think with teams like, St. Louis and Edmonton still in the race.
Nashville.
Nashville as well.
There.
So,
after
we'll
that,
see.
It just gets pretty bad.
Yeah, after that, it's just like Arizona.
Bedard.
It's like Vancouver, and it's just a Bedard race.
Bedard.
Through. Yep, 100%. Yeah. Any final thoughts on the Avalanche before we move on to our last topic?
Props to Mikko Rantanen for stepping up.
Oh yeah.
I don't think if they had Mikko Rantanen, they'd be in a bigger hole than they are.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention that as well. Props to Mikko Rantanen. Playing a pretty good season.
Mikko.
But yeah, anyways, we will move on here to a pretty fun way to end off this podcast with LeBlock. We're gonna do it over or under. So like I'm gonna mention something like, for example, we'll just say the first one. Jack Hughes, 50 goals, over under. And we'll basically go around, we'll see what people think. We'll start off with James, we'll go to Carter, we'll go to Jack, and then I'll be last. So that's what we'll do. Well, we won't go too in depth with it, but we'll still
Jack
talk about
Hughes, I think, has 26 goals last I checked, and I
Correct.
think I think he's gonna get just below 50. I'm gonna go under.
it.
I'm gonna go under too.
Well,
Carter?
I'll take the over. I love goal scorers.
I'm going to go right at the dot 50 because I think he's on pace to reach that. I mean, like he's already halfway there, halfway through the season. So I still think he can hit that. Now, the next player, David Pastrnak, over under 55 to 60 goals because as of right now, he has 32.
Contract year, I'm going over.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely contract.
Hammer
Carter's
that.
saying over.
Hammer that.
Jack?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
Over. Connor McDavid, 135 points. He has 77 right now at the time recording this pod. Over. Yep, everyone's
Over, baby.
Over.
Yeah,
He's hitting 140.
I think he can hit 150.
Yeah,
Possible.
He might.
We haven't seen
Pretty
those numbers since like the 80s with like
Since
150.
Gretzky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Gretzky Lemieux territory.
No, like 77 points halfway through the year. You multiply
That's
that. That's
absurd.
like almost 150. That might be over 150. I don't even know. I
That's
can't.
like 165. We're talking about it in the talking about my buddies like 160 could be the target there. So
Yeah, I was never good at math though. Anyways, number 4, I have just a team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, over under playoffs because they're 6th in the Metro right now and they've struggled a little bit lately. So, do you guys think it's kind of just like do the Penguins make the playoffs? But like, yeah, you know,
this is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're the luckiest team ever. They're making playoffs.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna make playoffs too.
yeah,
They'll
everyone.
find a way.
I'll take playoffs. They got games in hand on Washington, and they got 4 games in hand, and they're 4 points behind. So
I'm gonna say under. I don't think they make it.
I could see it going either way.
I mean, like it all depends. I think it depends on the Islanders, whether the Islanders are good or not. Obviously, we've had Bartner on the pod before, but you know the Islanders, they've kind of been iffy. They've kind of been like 500, and so have the Penguins. So,
But if Pittsburgh misses playoffs, they're getting Bedard. It's the way they get every generational talent.
oh,
they
I'll be
want.
so mad.
If they get Bedard, I'm never watching hockey again. Like, oh my goodness.
It's because like when Crosby retires, that team is screwed.
Yeah, they really are.
I hope they don't get Bedard.
Swear.
Number 5, Bo Horvat, 45 goals. As of right now, he has 29. So I'm gonna say over. Just
That's over.
Yeah, maybe 45 is a little bit too
Yeah.
low. I should have said like 50.
Give me the over. Give me the over.
Jack, over.
Yeah, over.
Igor Shesterkin, 45 wins. He has 19 right now.
Under.
We're approaching the halfway mark. Rangers have been hot. Give me the over.
Over?
That's a good line. I'll take just under, I think.
Jack?
That's a good
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, I'm gonna go just under 2. It's a tough one.
I'm gonna
That's a
say
good line.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just barely under, like maybe like 43, 44 wins.
Oh, that's a good line.
Actually, that's actually not that good of one. Austin Matthews, 55 goals. I'm not sure how many he has right now. I had 100 points, but that seems unrealistic. He'll get 100 points.
He has 20.
He has 20 goals.
Yeah.
I'm going under.
I'm thinking just under. He usually gets hot towards the end of the season, but I don't think he does. I'm gonna take just under.
I actually forgot what the question was. Sorry. Could you repeat it?
Matthews, 50 goals.
50 goals. He can do it. I'll take the even.
I think I'm gonna go even too. I think he can pull it off 100%. Especially if he gets as hot as he was last year. Trevor Zegras 90 points. Actually, no, not 90. 70 points. I don't know why I said 90.
I was gonna say, whoa.
90 points.
90
Hold
points.
on. Hold
70.
on. Hold the phone.
70 off.
He has 31 right now. I'm gonna say a little over. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
gotta-
I think
you
I'll
gotta
definitely
frame-
take the over on that one.
I'll go over.
I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, I mean, like Anaheim's kind of struggling. I'm gonna go right on the top.
After deadline, Anaheim's gonna be so much worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they trade like Klingberg and them. Miko. Actually, this kind of relates to our last topic. Miko Rantanen, 50 goals. He has 27 right now. I'm gonna say a little over.
I'll go a little over too.
Just like a little
gonna-
over, not like over, but a little bit
I'm
over.
gonna say a little bit under.
A little under. All right.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Marty Necas, 90 points. He has 39 right now. Necas has been really good this year.
Over. Yeah, he's been good.
Over.
Yep.
Over. I'll ride it with Jack.
That's
Just
a tough. That's a tough line.
That's a good line though.
That is. I'm gonna take the under. I'm thinking he gets like 88, 89.
Yeah, he's been pretty good this year, especially like when he wasn't that good last year. Ah, God, I don't know. I made this, so I should already have my decision. I think he could go either way. Like he could go under, he could go over. Depends on how hot he gets. I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna right where James is, 88, 89, right around there, just barely under. But yeah, that's all the over-unders I have. If you guys can think of any off the top of your head, I don't. Tim Stutz 100 points. I don't know.
Under. That I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a Sens fan, but I'm not. I'm realistic.
All right. Oh, I got one. This relates to one that I said when we had Bartner on, and it's looking pretty close right now. Cole Caulfield over 50. He's got 23 right now through 41.
Nah, he's not gonna get that.
I think he gets like 47.
Yeah. I'm actually. You know what? No. I think he could get like just 50, dead 50, like directly at 50. But I'm gonna say little bit under.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I should probably mention they just played their 42nd game. He scored 2 goals, so he's got 25 through 42.
I'm gonna still say a little bit under.
Oh, yeah, I think 47.
I'm riding it. Ride it. 50.
My preseason prediction for Caulfield was he would get 35. I thought that was a solid, respectful number, but
He said nah.
yeah.
Yeah, Carter's just yeah.
I'm riding it.
I mean, like I thought Caulfield could have gotten like 40 last year, but yeah, that was me. I mean, I remember like so many people were like riding him off of the 2021 playoffs. They were saying like, oh yeah, and Habs fans especially. They were like, oh yeah, Caulfield's gonna get like 50 goals, 55 goals. I'm like, oh my god, and then they finished dead last in the league. I don't know.
That was the time to be on TikTok where you just make any comment that have fans in your face about it.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then I will say this too. I think Jack brought this up a couple times. The coaching change definitely helped Caulfield last year. So definitely has helped him this year as well. But yeah, that's all I have. If you guys have anything else, nothing.
I got nothing.
Well, all right. Well, that will conclude episode number 13 of the NordCast. Thank you guys very much for watching or listening. LeBlock, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. And anyways, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week for episode number 14. See you guys.